Yo, what is going on, everybody? It is Jay here, aka Mojo Sports, coming at you guys with the Collector Podcast, episode 6 here. I'm very excited. I have our guest today, Max, aka Football Cards FS. What's up, man?
How you doing, Jay?
Dude, doing pretty good, man. Long time no see. I just saw you in Dallas.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride since Dallas, to say the least. It's only been 2 weeks, but lots transpired since then.
Yeah, man. How you feeling after the Dallas trip? You decompressing? How does it feel after a trip like that?
So I value those trips to Dallas because I think those large car shows are really good to see the way the hobby's moving at that time. So back in January, it was pretty obvious to see that Kobe, LeBron, Hall of Famers, legends, etc. We're going to see an increase in price. And I think this card show really it showed people that guys like Durant and Harden and Curry, it's their time to now see an increase. So it's you got to think about these things after you leave Dallas. But I think that that brief window is really good to use to educate yourself on what the next big thing is going to be.
Yeah, no, absolutely, dude. KD was kind of a hit at the show for sure. That's what's up. I've known you on Instagram and actually meeting you in person. It's crazy because when you see someone on Instagram, you see the cards, but then when you meet the person, you're like, oh my gosh, this guy has a lot of knowledge. Like he's making moves left and right, and that's what I saw when I met you. I mean, you helped a ton of people with the last vlog that you did, just giving help to new collectors, and it sounds like you really want to help new collectors.
100%. I think that's the most important thing is to educate the new wave and make sure people don't make the mistakes that or that they can reasonably prevent the mistakes that many new collectors do make just by listening to a podcast or watching a vlog or whatnot.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So I want to ask you this: how did you get into collecting? Like, what year did you start collecting?
I honestly couldn't give you an exact year. It's been a long time though. My dad owned a collectible shop, and I never got to see it. I was too young, but he always collected cards, and he would take us to local card shows and small card shows in the area. And I remember my budget; it was every 3 months. I had a $20 budget. I had to stay within that budget. Couldn't go a dollar, not even a penny over. And just being around the atmosphere, seeing people collect cards, and just the the camaraderie that there really was between all these people and like-minded individuals as well. It was something that I always wanted to do, something I aspired to do, was just get onto other people's level, which I'll talk about later in the podcast is something no one should do. Just be your own person. But yeah, I mean, I've if you needed me to put a year on it, I'd say 2004. And I was born in 97, so I probably started when I was 7 years old or so.
Wow, that's impressive. That's really cool. Your dad kind of like set the wave up. I like how you talk about the camaraderie because that's huge. I think the community, we're at a peak right now with the community with social media and everything. Like, if the market crashes or all this crazy stuff people say, I always tell people at the end of the day, like Dallas, those experiences, I'll never forget them. Unbelievable,
100%.
unbelievable experience. I've never seen so many people in a lobby doing a trade night, and it's not
Definitely.
even the
It's
national.
just wait for that. That's going to be insane.
You're gonna make it to the national.
I don't think that if you're a collector of any capacity right now, you don't have an option. Book your flight, book your hotel, get to Chicago this summer. There's no question.
Chicago in the summer, man. I'm excited, bro. This
Uh,
dude, I
you
love
and
I
I both.
bro, I love getting to know you guys, man. This is so cool. All right, so I want to ask you, you collect cards, you live in where do you live? Boca? You live in Boca?
Boca Raton, Florida.
Boca Raton, Florida. It's nice out there, right?
It has its moments.
Do you guys have a lot of card shops over there?
So one just opened up about 10 minutes away from my house. Newer shop. Then there's another one that's about 30 minutes away. I've never been there myself, so I can't comment on that one. But other than that, there really haven't been too many card shops in the area. But it's good to see that card shops are opening and people are being ambitious and wanting to see the hobby grow because I think card shops are one of the main components of the hobby.
Yeah, right on. So you were talking to me about what you do outside the hobby. You're in law school.
I am. I somehow managed to do legal work. I have an internship with a law firm right now. I'll most likely be working for one this summer. And I'm trying to manage somewhat decent grades in law school. And it's been a roller coaster. It's managing time. Time management's the most important thing in life, in my opinion. And you never want to give something too much attention, but if you find a few things that you're really passionate about, for me, law and cards are two things I'm completely passionate about. There's no reason why you can't pursue both goals of yours.
Absolutely. My best friend from high school, he and I still hang out. We're best friends. He's actually gonna take the bar and he's trying to practice law in Florida. So you might see more of me when I visit him. So that's pretty cool. I like that you mentioned that. And passion, bro. I totally agree with you. If you're passionate about something, you'll go to the end to master it, man. That's how Kobe and Michael Jordan are, and that's how anybody is. If you're passionate, you love what you're doing. Everyone has it. Cooking, collecting, law, being a doctor, whatever. For me, my passions are I love collecting and I love marketing. I
Hmm.
love to market. I love to put myself behind a camera. I love capturing moments, and that's just something that I'm passionate about.
Of
So
course, and you're pretty good at it too. So,
I appreciate it, man. All right, let's talk about struggles. What have been your biggest struggles with collecting?
so it's funny because I mentioned it just a moment ago. I was introducing myself, kind of, but my biggest struggle has been, trying not to match other people. We all have not our not our personal budget, but you can do what you can do. And you don't need to worry about what other people are doing. There's people who are in much different situations than you are, and that's just a fact. There's people who can get substantial loans. There's people who can just have different language barriers where they can talk to people in different countries and make different deals happen. And if you aren't someone that can get a loan and you're just not someone who can match a language barrier, you can do what you can do. So, for example, um, you if you're a new collector, there's no way within your first 3 months of collecting you're going to be able to match what someone who's been doing cards for 20 years has been doing. And you don't need to say, I need to get to that person's level. You need to say, how can I be the best possible me? And I think that's the most important thing. It's don't worry about other people's collections. A lot of Instagram, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but it's people showing off what they have. It's not people really trying to help you sometimes. And you don't need to worry about someone who has uh let's say LeBron James Topps Chrome Gold rookie. Don't worry about getting the LeBron James Topps Chrome Gold rookie. It's a rare card. That guy might have got it 5, 10 years ago, and it's what he has now. Worry about what you can get. And if what's affordable to you is a 2019 Prism base LeBron James, guess what? It's still a LeBron James card, and it's still pretty badass. So just achieve what you can achieve and exceed your expectations, but never try to compare yourself to someone else. Because I just think that just leads to envy, it leads to jealousy, and it's not something that is really healthy.
Man, dude, that you hit it on the nail. I need that reminder because when I first went to Dallas, I mean, you've been to Dallas, but when I went to Dallas, I was intimidated. I walked in there, and in my head was telling me, "Man, you don't have as good of a collection. These people have tens of thousands of dollars." And then I think what broke that barrier for me is I got to talk to people and talk to collectors that were actually passionate, and they weren't looking to say, "Oh, your collection sucks," or "What'd you bring to Dallas?" It wasn't nothing like it's crazy because I talk about FOMO, like fear of missing out has driven me to buy some weird stuff.
Hmm.
And I think you got to go through that
Definitely has.
experience to learn a lesson. And I think part of it too is like envy and jealousy. Like that's something I'm really trying to work on, and it happens. You can't. It'd be crazy to say you can't get envious and jealous. I think once you get through that point and you just if you're honest about it and you acknowledge it, then you're good to go. And I totally acknowledge it from the first Dallas trip. And even this last Dallas trip, I still kind of was. I walked away with an ounce of like, wow, I kind of wish I had a better collection. But like you
Hmm.
said, you got to build your way up. And if the key that brings me back is I PC Demarcus Cousins, and who do you PC? Tell us.
Dwayne Bacon.
And doesn't that ground you a little bit?
It definitely does, and I'll say this too: that thrill of going to these large card shows and digging through these boxes to find one $4 autograph of Dwayne Bacon is fun.
Dude, I
People
love
don't
it.
realize the actual fun it
Heck
is.
yes,
You
PC,
know it
bro.
with Cousins.
Yeah,
It doesn't
man.
matter what it goes up to. It doesn't matter what it goes down to. To me, that stuff, that's just what I have fun doing. So whenever I get the question, why do you PC Dwayne Bacon? I don't care if he becomes the next Michael Jordan, and I don't care if he's playing in the EuroLeague next year. I'm keeping all my stuff. There's no price tag on my stuff, and it makes me happy. And nothing can put a price on happiness.
Dude, you love what you collect. I'm serious, dude. I wish more people would. That's the thing I wish people would do is if you don't you believe in someone you should PC someone if you're involved in this, even as a business.
100%. Go look at someone, and I'll give a shout out to RBI Crew 7 right now. They have a massive shop, a well known shop. and they have great inventory. Yet Ryan keeps all of his LeBron stuff to the side because it's what he loves and has nothing to do with the value of the card or anything like that. He keeps his LeBron stuff because it makes him happy. And he'll be the first one to say it too. You can't put a price on happiness.
I love that, dude. RBI Crew 7, that's awesome. Another guy that I'll drop is Card Collector 2. I know Ryan has stuff that he just loves. Peyton Manning. I know he loves Peyton Manning and he loves certain players and he keeps them. You could tell when he gets those cards and he posts them, like he's like so happy about the design and just there's it's not the price tag, it's something about the card that appeals to you.
Yeah, I know Ryan has that one press pass auto of I don't know the guy's name, but he's always says it got him into collecting. And whenever he sees that guy's autograph pops up, he buys it. Doesn't care how much or how little it is. He buys it and it's not for sale. And that part of collecting, of the hobby, the true hobby, is immeasurable.
I think there's a balance between a hobby and a business out of this, and I think more people can get into that if they actually decide to like realize like, hey, I love the Dodgers, so I want to PC
Hmm.
this person, even if it doesn't even matter who it is. If you like, for me, Cousins, he's not on a team right now, but I love the fact that I just there's something more that the price, like you said, the price tag's not there, and I wish more people would PC. If you could give anybody advice on how to start a PC, what would you say to like get them to PC someone? How could they pick that?
So obviously, as you even touched on, Jay, there's two different aspects of this. There's the business aspect and then the hobby aspect. And I try to do it both ways. Now, if you're starting with a small budget, don't put all your money into the PC to start because then you can't sell that stuff. The whole point of the PC is that you don't sell stuff. You grow a collection. At least that's how I view my PC. I've sold a Dwayne Bacon card or two in my life. Literally, I think it's been two, and one of them I rebought. But you need to find that fine ground between PC and the business aspect of it. Don't just go out and buy every Dodger card you can at first. Buy some Dodger cards and buy some stuff that you don't mind selling if it goes up, or you don't mind selling if you can see a quick turnaround profit. And then take that little profit and buy your PC stuff. And then keep doing that. Don't grow just the business, don't grow just the PC. Find that balance between the two. Because once you do that, you're going to see a serious growth, not only in your PC, but also in your business and your inventory and whatever you want to consider your business aspect of the hobby.
I like that. That's well put. You like to play basketball?
I do. Basketball is it's been a substantial part of my life for sure. It's where you can go and just for me where I just decompress. I put the headphones in, play by myself, and I feel like Michael Jordan's guarding me, and I got to get by him and score.
Dude, I
No one needs
just
to be on the court. It's just that fantasy world you put yourself in, and it takes you out of this true reality and puts you into this fantasy world.
dude, I just finished playing basketball before I came on the podcast. That's I
I,
that's funny, man. As soon as I saw you you liked basketball, I was like, dude, okay, that's perfect.
it's just a
It,
good way to decompress.
yeah, dude, for sure. And you love the game. That's huge. All right, let's talk about COVID collecting. There's a lot of opinions, but like what would you say from your experience with this? I mean, we don't know what's going to happen, but like pros and cons of collecting during the sports card boom, I guess you could call it.
I would say the biggest pro would be the most boilerplate answer, and boilerplate is just generic answer, which would be the influx of money. I would say that's been a pro to the hobby. It's been a pro to the business. You're seeing cards where I would never have thought LeBron James tops Chrome PSA 10s would go up to $40,000 by 2021. Never in my life would I have expected that to happen, but it did happen. My con of all that's happened is the same exact thing, the influx of money that's come into the hobby. Why is that? Because you can't buy Dwayne Wade base autographs at $10, $15 anymore. And there are certain cards that I personally would want for my collection that simply the prices are hard to rationalize. On that same basis, everything's gone up. So sometimes you need to think, okay, you're selling a card that you never thought was going to be at that price to afford another card that you never thought was going to be at that price. But sometimes dropping serious money on cards that are just for your collection and you're not looking at as a investment piece, or you're really just looking at it as a I want this card for me. It's been hard to rationalize what's been going on. And I think that the influx of money is both a significant pro as well as a significant con.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. There's like it's a double edged sword, honestly, right now, and we don't know what's gonna
Hmm.
happen. But I mean, we're just kind of playing the game, kind of riding the wave, honestly.
Exactly.
You got some cards you want to show, and I figured, you know what, with what you just mentioned, we're talking about graded and we're talking about raw cards. You're gonna show me. What are you gonna show me? Some raw cards.
Jay messaged me earlier and he said pick out 3 to 5 of your favorite cards and show them off. Jay, I'm sorry. That was like telling me to pick between which kid of mine's my favorite. I don't have any kids for the record, but it was very hard to do. So I think I have a bit more than 3 to 5. But so I could show the camera this stack, there's no slab in there. Sorry,
No
put it this way.
slabs, nothing PSA,
There's
no
no slabs.
BGS.
No, because to me that's not important. The card's the same.
All
It's a
right,
card, and a slab is just like protecting it by some plastic. To me, magnetic holders do just fine.
those are the
So
OGs right there.
the first card I'll start off with is this card just due to its look, and that's the LeBron 2013 Kaboom.
Wow,
And there's a few here,
wow.
but this card I was buying I bought my first one back in the National maybe in 2014, give or take a year there, and they were like maybe $200 at the time.
How much are they now?
Um, don't quote me on this. I know they're maybe 8,000, but they've gone up quite
What an
substantially. And the thing,
ROI.
well, to me, it's these aren't for sale. And with this card specifically, only in 2013 and 2014 Kaboom sets did Panini use an actual sketch of a cartoon. It wasn't pixelated on a computer or anything. This is someone's hand drawn cartoon that they
Whoa.
used for the card. So I think the genuinity of the 2013, especially first year Kaboom, is unmatchable. And those are cards. I mean, like I said, I just love that card. I decided to grab 3. Wish I grabbed more, but they're not for sale. So
Do you
whether they
bring
go up
those?
to
Do you bring
60K,
those to the shows?
there's no point. Let me touch up on that point too while we're talking. There's no point of bringing stuff to a show that you have no plan on selling because you're just running risk of losing it, of getting it stolen, of damaging it. If you're not selling it, there's no point of bringing it to a show. Have a picture if you want to show it off. Trust me, we all like to show off our cool things. But to bring something to a show that you have no intent on moving, you're just giving yourself either a reason to move it or you're giving yourself a reason to have it stolen, lost, etc.
I like that. That's actually really good advice for the next couple shows here.
So
All right, what else you got?
let's see. To move on, I have a few cards
I
here.
went through
Well,
your box in Dallas, and man, if you left those LeBrons at home, I don't even want to know what else you have.
well, a lot of stuff's locked away, as I told you earlier. I don't see a lot of my stuff too is I never bought a high end card, a real high end card. They've grown to be high end cards. And if it's not for sale, I keep it locked up. I have a few Giannis Silver 9.5s locked up. LeBron James Topps Chrome PSA 10s locked up because they're not for sale. And I don't, again, the same point of why you don't bring stuff to a show, you don't want to run the risk of something bad happening because there's always that small chance. And maybe that's just me thinking of as a lawyer and thinking a little more pessimistic than optimistic. But there's that small chance, and I don't want to run that risk whatsoever.
I like that advice, man. I don't think I've actually told. That's something I've never asked. Is what's some good tools to go to a show? You know, it's a good question. So,
So going to the next thing, I had to bring some Dwayne Bacon on.
oh
It was
boy.
going to happen.
All right, let's
And
see it.
this is I posted on my Instagram before. I'm not sure if you've ever seen it, but the NT
Wow.
Logo Man RPA 101, the Immaculate Logo Man RPA 101,
Oh my gosh.
and the Spectra Logo Man RPA
Look at
101.
that.
That's the true Logo Man as well. Dwayne Bacon's actually the only player in Spectra from 2017 that they used the actual Logo Man and not the laundry tag on. At least it's the only one I saw.
Wow.
So Tatum, Donovan Mitchell, they all used the laundry tag Logo Man. So for these 3 cards, Bacon wasn't in flawless. So he only has 3 Logo Man RPA.
And you have them.
Those are them.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna ask you this now. Is there anybody else that collects Dwayne Bacon?
So there were a few guys that were collecting him. At least I know that when he was back on Charlotte. And since then, I think they've stopped collecting him because I know I bought a few pieces from them because they hit me up, hey, do you want to buy some bacon, whatnot? And I'm more than happy to. Because to me, it's just so much fun to acquire as many of them as I can. And it has nothing to do with cornering the Dwayne Bacon market. To me, it's just he's affordable, attainable, and I love it. I think I'm up to maybe 70 or 80 one of ones now, and like true one of ones. And it's been a blast searching and every day digging, finding, and seeing what's out there. What else can I get? And it's just been fun. That's the
That
best way to put it. That part's been
that's it.
fun.
That's so important. Yeah, I mean, I was jazzed up to pick one of. I only have two one of one Demarcuses, but I gotta go for more. You're making me want to buy more.
Well,
He's
the
not
one
that
of ones are
expensive.
that's no, he's actually saw a small bump. I had a Cousins card on my eBay. It was like a base contenders auto, and it just got bought up maybe 3 4 days ago. And I was quite surprised that people were buying Cousins in these conditions, just being that he's not on a roster right now.
Yeah,
But it's always about speculation. Where's he going? Who's going to pick him up? Is a contender going to get him? And a guy like Cousins, who at least he's Demarcus Cousins, basically a household name if you know anything about basketball. Dwayne Bacon, I have to do a lot of explaining every time I tell someone I collect him.
that's pretty good. All right, what else
Um,
you got?
let's see. Next, we'll start with a pair of Udonis Haslem cards.
Udonis
Another
Haslam.
PC of mine. So the first is an exquisite
Oh, what a
RPA.
classic, bro! I love the hollow background on that.
It's this whole set was just perfect, and it's '03 exquisites. That's LeBron's rookie year,
Look at his
and this
autograph. It's a
is
full autograph.
that's the full autograph. I don't think he signs them like
I've
that
never seen that.
anymore at all. And that's the gold parallel number to his jersey number of 40. Sorry, I'm not very good at positioning this stuff in the
Are you a Heat fan?
Die Hard.
Yeah, and you had some
Die
good.
Hard.
You guys had some. When I was in high school, that was a great time to be a Miami Heat fan.
Hey,
2009 to 2013. What a time, dude! That was unbelievable.
I think I had more phone calls the night that LeBron made his decision than LeBron James himself. I mean, that's how passionate I was about the Heat, and that was some night, some 4 years that I'll never forget. And then the second Haslam card that I have to show off. This card's more than Haslam, and this is the set that I think is going to be the most prominent Panini set. This is Upper Deck had Exquisite, Tops had Tops Chrome, and Panini had Panini Prism, and that will always be known. So this is a 2012 Prism
Wow.
Gold Udonis Haslem,
Damn.
and
Nat Turner's been opening some of that stuff up. If you've been seeing it, he's been trying to look for some golds.
Nat Turner's been hunting the golds like crazy. If you go look at
Yeah.
if anyone ever goes and looks at the bid history on eBay on some of these golds, and you see N star 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 N, that's Nat Turner's eBay, and you can see some of these significant bids that he's putting into cards.
He likes them.
So, for example, Bill Walton Raw did a $6,700 last night
On the gold?
on the gold.
Are those out of 10?
They're all out of 10. So there's really no difference between a 2012 gold and a 2020 gold or 2019 gold. I guess 2019 is the last Prism years as of right now. Um, it's just first year, and they're so hard to get. Every box of 2012 Prism only had two silvers, but they weren't uh, known as silvers at that time. They were just called Prism.
I
It was
remember
Prism,
those.
Prism,
I remember breaking that stuff. Oh,
and yeah, it's
well, time flies,
my
man.
my one suggestion. If you don't have a 2012 Prism Gold, go get yourself one because these things aren't going down. This is literally gold. It's
Yeah.
literally gold right now, and I just think that those are the safest and smartest plays at the current moment.
All right, what else you got?
Uh, if you want, we can stop after this one as well. But this is a pairing that I put together, and let's show the LeBron first.
Oh my gosh, dude. No, we're not stopping anytime soon. Wow.
So this is a LeBron 2016 Immaculate
Is it a
three color
Cavaliers or a
patch out of
Heat
15.
patch?
It's a Heat patch.
Oh.
And before I explain what the patch is, this is a Dwayne Wade. This one was a gift from my buddy,
Is
Card
that a
Collector
bullion tag?
291. It's immaculate. It's immaculate tag.
Wow.
And I'll tell you, these two cards, why I love them so much is those were the patches that were worn in the 2013 Christmas Day game against the Lakers.
Wow.
So they're game dated. That is
Wait,
my
those
favorite
those
game.
have the date on them?
On the back, the Wade says the enclosed. It's this the Wade's game worn shorts, and it was worn on December 25th, 2013, and you could see the actual shorts that they cut.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
And the LeBron says it was
Because
worn on Christmas Day,
everyone gets
2013.
all weird about because they wear the jersey and they take it off type thing.
Now these are game dated, and the
You don't
thing
do
with
player worn, right?
I mean, it's hard to stay away from it because of NTRPAs. NTRPAs are all event or player worn. So, I mean, if you want the best, you kind of just have to accept the fact that they're not going to be game used. But these specifically, as from a collector standpoint, it doesn't get better than
Those
this.
are like
And this
museum.
game,
It's like a museum.
if if you go look up, and I'm sure you live in LA, so you know how it is. Or you live in California, not LA. I'm
Sacramento, yeah,
sorry.
yeah. No, but I'm
It's
in
just
LA a
I just
lot.
consider
Yeah,
the entire state is just LA. That's what I consider it.
yeah,
If you go look up the 2013 Christmas Day game, Heat Lakers, that's the game where Wade and LeBron kept throwing all those lobs to each
yeah.
other.
I
That was
watched
the
that
most
game.
that was the
I was at
most
my
fun
aunt's
game.
house. Oh my god, I remember
That
that.
was the most fun game I ever watched. And when I found out there were actually patches and tags and that kind of stuff from the exact game, I knew it was something I had to get. There was no way I was going to accept not owning these for my collection, not for sale, for my collection. And definitely happy to have those at this
It's your
point.
favorite team. That is a huge part of NBA history too. That Heat team. It's so cool to me because you probably bought those when they were probably I don't know. I'm just estimating 750 maybe to 1,000. I don't know how much they
Hmm.
were, but like now they're probably worth like grands.
Which doesn't matter though. That's the thing. And I did get in relatively close to the numbers you mentioned.
But
But
seven hundred
from my
fifty
point,
bucks or $1,000 for a sports card when I was in high school in 2010, 2011, 2012, you were just like, damn, that guy's rich.
well, that's another thing. It's $750 even today. That's a lot of money. That's why when I said earlier, don't put yourself on someone else's platform or someone else's level. Like $750 is a lot of money. Think about what you're buying before you spend $750. I was once telling a friend of mine, you go lose your AirPods, these little things that are in your ear, you're basically losing a brand new Xbox. Well, the Xbox One at the time. I know the new ones are a little more expensive, but you don't realize what money is until you actually sit down and say, what could 750 get me? $750 is a lot of money.
You could rent an office. You could freaking do like, and it's crazy. That's the thing about this. It's like you're right. You got to think about what the money you're spending.
Mhm. It's not a joke. And people really they say, oh yeah, this was only 750. This was only $1,000. You go tell someone only $1,000, some people will really work their behind off for $1,000. You don't realize there's people that are janitors at places. There's people who are cleaning up your mess for you at restaurants or out in the streets in public parks. What are they getting? $10, $15 an hour? Sometimes you just need to accept the fact that you're fortunate at the moment, but also don't lose a sense of how much money really is. Because $1,000 is $1,000, no matter who you are. It's a lot of money.
Are you
And I
very
think that's
careful
important.
about like what you like considering buying big cards? Like, how often would you say you buy a big card? And what do you factor into that? Like, do you get kind of like, oh God, I shouldn't drop 1,000 on this. I could probably buy something else.
So I'm very conscious about the money I spend. I love my money. I also love my cards. And I'll give you an example. I'm a big Heat fan, and Victor Oladipo got traded to Miami today,
Dude, unbelievable.
and I don't have any
You,
Oladipo cards.
you guys are about to get LaMarcus Aldridge too.
I think so. That's the way it's looking. I know him and Pat
Okay,
Riley have a
so you
really
don't have any
good.
Oladipo though. So are you gonna get some?
So I go on eBay today, right when I mean I'm on my phone all the time. That's just what happens when you're in the card business. You're on your phone a lot. And I see the news and I go look up Oladipo and I'm like, do I really want to buy this card for $50? And it's $50, but it's like, do I really need it? Do I really want it? Because I could go use you can go use that $50 and if you can grade cards, you can't lose money in this hobby. You really can't. It's very hard to do that.
Yep.
And I told myself I can go take this $50 and basically get two value service modern slabs with $50, or I can go buy an Oladipo card for my collection, which is cool, but again, it's that fine line between business and hobby or PC, whatever you want to call it. And when I was thinking about that, I ultimately decided, let me take that $50, let me apportion it to something else rather than a Victor Oladipo card. I'm sure I'll have my fair share of Oladipo cards over the next few months. And it wasn't a card that I absolutely needed in that moment. So I just told myself no. And again, and I'm telling everyone who's going to watch this video this, I've worked myself up in this hobby solely from what I've done. No one gave me a dollar, no one gave me a penny to be able to afford and buy these cards. And maybe that's why I value the dollar bill a little differently. And I'm sorry if I'm going very off page right now. When I was 17 years old, I started busting tables at my local pizza shop. Then when I went to college, I was bussing tables at Olive Garden. Then I bust tables at Cheddar's. Up until my sophomore year, I said, Max, what are you doing? You know how to do cards. Just try, attempt to make it a business, attempt to make some money doing something you like. Because I'll tell you this much, it was getting kind of annoying holding a tray like this that just had dirty napkins and whatnot. I wasn't a server, I was a busboy, legit busboy. And I took my money and I bought Odell Beckham cards, and Odell Beckham was going up, and I moved those cards to buy stuff I wanted. And I still have a lot of Odell Beckham stuff. But, everyone starts somewhere, and be happy with wherever you're starting. You don't need to compare yourself to anyone else. I really want to just dig in on that. And going back to my main contention, that's why I value $50 so much. So when I was bussing tables, that was 4 to 5 hours of me standing on my feet, carrying trash, doing dishes, sorting silverware. And 5 hours on my feet, that was a lot of time. I'd leave work after 8 hours, and if I made $100, I didn't have a bigger smile on my face. Like it was the best moment when I got $100.
Yeah.
And sometimes I have to think about that when I'm buying a card because it's a lot of money, $100.
Dude, exactly. I mean, dude, I totally respect that, man. The passion and just kind of, dude, I think the thing people need to realize too is you're graduating your collection up. You
Mm-hmm.
start, if you're just getting into this, you start grading cards, you start flipping them, make a little money, and you turn those into the Jordans or whatever you want, whatever you like, the Demarcus Cousins NTRPA or whatever you
Mm-hmm.
want. You have to graduate yourself into it. But at the end of the day, your self worth should not be defined off of, oh, I've got a Jordan and I'm going to walk into the show and feel good. It shouldn't be like that at all. It
100%.
needs to
And
be less about me, less about I, and more about we.
of course, because you're not going to get every card in the world. You have to accept the fact that you can pass up a deal every once in a while. You're not going to get every PC card you want unless you pick a scrub. Sorry if you're watching this, Dwayne Bacon, but like Dwayne Bacon. And
Magic
there,
just
there's
cleared up space. You never know.
if he gets a lot of shots, you're not going to see any of my stuff on eBay. Maybe you'll see a Prism Silver or two, but nothing crazy. I'll guarantee you that.
Yeah, I get
But
that. But I respect that, man. I'm kind of the same way about the money, man, because I got my marketing degree and then after that, I was getting autographs and I was moving autographs and buying into signings and doing different stuff going all over the place around the country. And I just kind of just sold out and kind of just got into different avenues and I realized, "Oh my god, I could turn a profit here. I could actually buy something I like here. I could sell that so I can keep that. I can keep this, I can keep
exactly,
that. I'm selling to keep things."
exactly, because you never want to put yourself in a situation where you need to sell something that you truly like.
I mean, I'll
And
never
people have
sell.
done it
I'll never
before.
sell a Demarcus Cousins item. That's like it's just not going to happen. But you know what I mean? Like you get that.
Exactly. And sometimes you listen, people get into situations where they have to sell things, and there's no shame in that. But that shouldn't discourage you from trying to continue to build yourself up, not just your collection, but yourself. And I think that's really important.
I like that. If someone catches themselves feeling like envious of someone else's collection, what tools could they use to ground themselves back? Because when I talk to you, I mean, you're bringing me back to life.
Yeah, well,
I need the reminders, man. It's just that's just a part of me.
I've just seen it. And you'll see, you see someone who's envious and you don't want to be that person. And it's really, I just think it's a really bad thing. People who have the evil eye on you, basically, not trying to get spiritual or religious, but I just believe in karma and people who want bad things on you. And don't worry, just really don't worry about what someone else has because it doesn't affect you. You're going to wake up tomorrow, you're going to be the same person you were the day before, and you can only work on getting yourself better. So even if you hate, let's say me, you hate that I have this card, you hate that I have that card. Guess what? I'm going to wake up tomorrow with the same cards, and you're going to wake up tomorrow with the same cards, with the same life, and I'm going to wake up with the same life. And you can only control what you can control. I've learned that in basketball. You go play in these March Madness tournaments, you can only control your game. You can't control what's going on in the Midwest if you're in the South. That has nothing to do with you. Just do what you can do to better yourself, better your collection, and encourage people to do better because when someone like me sells more, that's more money that's going to get put into the hobby. And you need to encourage people's success because that's just more money that's coming into the hobby that's helping us all really excel.
Dude, you nailed it. That's what more could you ask for? All right, let's transition into some learning lessons here. You talked about Josh Rosen.
Oh man.
So we're gonna talk about this because I've talked about my worst investments I've had. Trust me, I PC'd Sacramento Kings players, but I wasn't thinking about PCing. I was thinking they're gonna make me money back in the day.
Oh,
So
it's
give
hard.
me, give me the Josh Rosen. Your worst investment was it Josh
Listen, I'm a
Rosen?
Jewish. It's Josh Rosen. It's definitely Josh Rosen because I went kind of crazy with it. I
What
don't know
happened?
what I was doing. I'm not the football expert. Let's start there. But
Your
I'm a
football
Jewish kid
cards
from Boca Raton.
FS.
If you, we can get to the story of why that name came about if you want after. But let me
Yeah.
answer the question at hand. I'm a Jewish kid from Boca Raton. Josh Rosen, Jewish kid from California, gets traded to the Dolphins. You get a first rounder for like a third. It was like for nothing. And okay, Rosen's coming. We didn't really have a quarterback on the roster. I didn't think Fitzpatrick was much. We just got rid of Tannehill. I was like, all right, we didn't draft a quarterback. Rosen's our guy. And I remember Suns fan 8. So shout out Suns fan 8.
Suns fan 8, I've heard of him.
He I messaged him. I said, I know you love Rosen. I know you're a Cardinals fan though. What are you ready to move? And he gave me at the time what were superb deals. I can't give him enough credit or just enough thank you for just giving me deals. He wasn't trying to get me on one. He was like, I don't want this stuff. You want this stuff. Let's work something that makes sense for both of us. And through him, and then obviously through eBay, I was able to grab some rare pieces, one of ones, NTRPAs, whatnot. You name it, I had it. Still have it. Week one goes by, he's not the starter. Okay. I think a few weeks go by. Fitzpatrick started playing not so well. They put Rosen in. It was a disaster, an absolute disaster. I'm like, oh no. I was like, I've only heard this guy has a really good arm, but he had his issues in Arizona, and now he's in a different situation. I was hoping it was going to figure itself out, and it didn't. And then time went on. I think he was on Tampa Bay's practice squad last year, and now I'm pretty sure he's somewhere within the depth chart of the 49ers, but nowhere near the top. It's probably Garoppolo, then it's still Mullen that's there, Mullins,
Yeah, Nick Mullins.
and then him. So I don't think he's ever making it back to the top ever again.
Do you still have the
He's probably going
cards?
to. I still have all the cards, but it was a bad investment. Like you said, when you start buying people who play for the teams that you like, that's where you're really gonna get shot down, to say the least. If you're
Because
looking at it from an investment,
you have so much in the when you have emotions involved in any decision, it's not good.
uh-huh.
It's not good for
No,
business.
it's really not. And I decided to take a flyer, new Dolphins QB. Well, I didn't fall into the trap with Tua. I don't have any Tua cards, so
Well,
I'll say that.
you don't think he's gonna? What about Tua? You're not gonna take a risk?
I'm still so much of a Trevor Lawrence fan, and I said, please, Miami, let's have one more bad year. Let's tank for who I think is going to be the best, one of the best quarterbacks to ever do it. And they took Tua. So I'm hoping we trade for Deshaun Watson as long as his legal matters clear up, because that needs to be situated. I don't know the truth of the matter. I know there's allegations, but whatever happened needs to be cleared up. And if it clears up, I'm hoping that we make a push to grab who I think is a top five QB in the league.
He signed with Tops.
Did he?
Trevor Lawrence.
Oh, Trevor Lawrence did. I thought you meant Deshaun.
Oh, you're talking about Deshaun. Okay, I thought you were talking about
That's what I
Trevor.
was talking about after. I'm
Oh yeah,
sorry.
yeah, Deshaun Watson. Yeah, yeah. No, I was talking about Trevor Lawrence. He signed with Tops. That's kind of crazy.
I didn't know that. That's
Yeah, it's wild.
interesting.
It's not.
That's
Yeah,
interesting to say the least.
it's not ideal.
Yeah, I didn't know that part.
All right, so talk about the name, Football Cards FS. But you have probably one of the. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna say it's one of the best basketball collections I've seen in a while.
You see, I just do what I can do. I know there's a lot of people that are better than me and a lot of people that have more than me, but that doesn't affect me because, like I said, I can't do anything about their stuff.
So why is it?
Only can control what I have.
What do
But
you got with the
Football
name?
Cards FS.
Why?
Let's start. Let's talk about Football Cards FS. I think it was 2013. I remember what class I was sitting in. I was sitting in my DECA class. Maybe I was in 10th, 11th grade. DECA, some business class. I'm not sure if you heard it or the viewers have heard of it, whatnot. Some business class. I
Yeah.
honestly forgot what it was about. And the day before, I had gone to Target and bought a fat pack of Score football for $5 and pulled absolutely nothing. It was 2014 because it was 2014 Score, and there was a Manziel base card in there.
Manziel.
So yes, it was 2014 Score football. I pulled nothing. At least I recall it to be nothing. So if anyone wants to go scroll back on my old post, you'll see. My first post is me trying to sell some Score football base cards for like $1 each or however much it was, maybe $3 shipped, nothing expensive. I didn't sell a thing, but when I was surfing Instagram in 10th or 11th grade in 2014, I saw that there was some kind of community for cards building on Instagram. And I said, this could be it. Football Cards FS, because I have football cards from this crap score pack that I just opened. And let's start selling some things. And, I've dabbled into my fair share of football here and there, but the name stuck. People know who I am by that name. And it's just the name. It's literally just a name. And if you go look, my actual title on my Instagram says basketball cards because I don't do football. And I want to clarify that when people see I follow them, it's like, open my page. It's okay. I have basketball because a lot of the accounts I do follow are basketball oriented.
I like it. I think it's kind of like it's like a fun twist, I guess.
It's stuck. It's stuck, and
I
that's
mean,
all that mattered to me.
yeah, no, I mean that's huge. You have a brother that collects.
I do have a brother that
He is
collects.
cards FS.
I told him, I said, let's get on this Instagram thing. He was probably in ninth grade at the time. It's like, okay, I'll do cards FS. And basically, same situation. We just tried moving things that we couldn't move. Obviously, as everything else, it's a learning curve. I had to learn what people were looking for. No one was looking for base cards. Now they are for some reason. But at that time, no one was looking for base cards. And once I started posting more things, my likes went up from 1 to 10, from 10 to 20 to 30. And it's just growing your account and growing your brand. That's really what it is. It's growing your brand. I know Jay, congratulations to Jay, who just reached 10,000 followers. I mean, that's a huge milestone. Huge. And take that with a grain of salt. Everyone that's watching, not you, Jay, but everyone that's watching this, it's like he didn't start with 10,000 followers. I've known Jay now on social media probably for 5, 6 years, I'd say. And it's always been mutual respect between him and I. At least I viewed it like that. And I'm assuming you have as well.
Yeah, no, for sure, bro.
And I remember I met you in Dallas in January, and I had to go over to you because I watch your videos. I always see you on social media. I remember years ago, I tried to buy a Lil Wayne signed picture that you must have obtained yourself.
Oh shit.
And that's the best part about the hobby. That's the best part about Instagram. You get to put faces behind names. Jay touched on that earlier. You get to meet people who I'm a Boca Raton, Florida kid. Jay's from Sacramento, California. The only way we meet each other is through these card shows that are literally in the middle of us. Dallas, Texas. It's probably closer to me, but it's an area where it's like you just get to meet people who you have no business seeing in person. Not no business, but you would never see in person.
Yeah,
And you go to these
it'd be a
card
needle in
shows,
a haystack.
and these are relationships that like they're unmatchable. My Some of my best friends are in the card community. People who will be at my wedding, people who will probably be in my wedding party, are people who I met through Instagram, through the sports card
100%.
community.
100%.
It's it's insane. It's insane. And there's literally people who I've met maybe once, twice, 3 times before where I would trust them. Everything of mine, all my cards. Watch my cards for me at a show. I trust you because it's just the brotherhood. It's the community. It's been an amazing 6 years or so on Instagram. That I'll say.
Yeah, dude, that feeling a part of, and like you said, the weddings and everything. Like everybody I meet today, they know what I do now. I used to be kind of ashamed of doing this, dude. For like when I was in high school, it was not cool to collect cards, and when
Of
I was
course,
younger, I was always like, oh, I shouldn't be doing this. And I would unlist my YouTube videos when I'd get home, and I'd be all, oh my God, these people are making fun of me. But if I would have just embraced it and just been like, yeah, I collect cards, like it's really cool, and I like it. It doesn't matter. And now it's like card collecting is like a thing, like it's
it's cool.
huge. Like
It's
all
cool.
my friends' dads, they have old cards and they're hitting me up and they're like, hey, what's this worth? And they bring the '90s base, and I have to say, I gotta bring them down to the level and say, hey, those are overproduced, but it's fun, man. Like you said, the whole like wedding and all the parties and stuff, dude. All you guys, like I'm doing the whole community, stuff like that. That's what
it's
it's about.
it's a different feeling, and people you don't know what it's like unless you're within. And I promise you, if you've ever thought about should I make a card Instagram or I have a personal Instagram, can I use that? Just make a card Instagram. No one cares if you're posting cards that are worth $5 or cards that are worth $5 million. It's being a part, as you just said, Jay. It's being a part of something that's bigger than just you.
And the
And
likes
this
don't matter.
community,
The likes and all that stuff, and like I talked about it. There was a time when like if someone would comment on my old YouTube videos, dude, it made my day. like it was so cool to know that I could like that was a thing. And it's like today, it's like I try to reply and thank every single person that has something nice to say. You know?
Everyone that comments on a picture of mine gets a like
Yeah.
because I'm acknowledging it. I see it. I'm thankful for it. And that's not something I was getting when I was posting my score football cards 7 years ago. It just wasn't. And it's I just can't say enough about the community as a whole and the people I've met and just it's amazing. Every
Yeah.
day there's a new story within the community, good or bad. It's There's always something new.
Dude, we're at the peak of the community, man. I was on YouTube for years and it was good. YouTube was amazing, but Instagram, like we're on another level with how live everybody goes live and there's just I'm like I got to chill, dude. A goosebump because it's like dude, this is a peak. I hope, we keep this going and if we don't, like I mean, it's I will never forget this, dude. Like we are at
Listen,
the peak of collecting right now.
it's people like you who are going to keep it the way it is, Jay. I'll tell you that. The people who want to keep educating, the people who are thinking about coming in, or the people who are just now coming in, just educate. And for the people that are watching who are new or who are thinking of joining, make sure you educate yourself before you spend your hard-earned money because I was in that situation. I know how hard it is to make that $5 bill, that $10 bill. But there's a way that you can hedge your bet a little safer. Make your bet safer. Don't go buy, let's say, Cody Martin cards if you're on a strict budget, because the likelihood of Cody Martin becoming some kind of star is much less than if you go buy a guy like LeBron James, who, no matter what, is a Hall of Famer. There's only so much money you can lose on LeBron James cards as opposed to Cody Martin cards, for an example.
Exactly. Yeah, so you're covering a lot here. Uh, what I guess if you could tell yourself, your younger collector self, one piece of advice, just one little secret, what would you tell him?
Um, I made mistakes. I would sell cards without looking at them, without grading them, and grading has just become such a big part of this hobby. It's like I said earlier, it's impossible to lose money if you know how to grade cards, and that's at least my thought process on it. And if you're getting into it and you're on a budget into your amount that you have, the ability to grade. Because if you want to treat this as somewhat of a business, because grading cards just increase the value substantially. I still don't get the phenomenon behind nines and eights right now, but there is one. And people will pay a premium for a PSA 9 and almost even for a PSA 8 at this point, they'll pay a premium. I understand the premium of a Gem Mint 10, but I'm not so much understanding it as to an 8 or a 9. But if I'm giving what the advice I'd give myself is grade, just grade cards and don't be too just don't worry about other people. I can't stress that enough, Jay. And I'm sorry for smiling through it, but I mean, I don't. I promise you, Jay, because I've never actually looked through your collection. I know you. I've never looked through your collection, and I don't know if you have $5 worth of cards or $5 million worth of cards. And that does not, for one bit, change my perception of who you are or anything else because it's so unimportant. It's so unimportant, and and I don't know if we're going to touch on this later in the interview. I know I talked to you about it earlier, but it's networking. And I've learned this through law school. Networking is so important. And you never know who someone is that you're shaking hands with. And it's not, oh, that person doesn't have good cards and I do, so they're not on my level. Never think like that. Because that person that doesn't have good cards could be someone who's so critical in your life, someone who can give you a job when you're down, someone who can help
Nailed
you
it.
out in no matter what situation it is. There's no reason for you not to treat everyone with the respect that you would want to be treated with. And again, back to my point, Jay, I don't know what kind of cards you have in your collection, and that means absolutely nothing to me. Doesn't mean a thing to me because guess what? You're probably I really said this to your face too. You're the best person I've ever met. You're just a good person.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
And you deserve anything good that comes your way because it's just truly something that you deserve. Because again, you don't look at people and say, I know this guy, but what's up, man? You're 13 years old. You probably don't have that good of cards. It's, yo, what's up, man? How you think about the hobby? Where do you think the hobby's going? And you just want to interact and talk to people. And that part is something that everyone should take away from you. It's just networking is so important. It's so, so, so important. And even at these card shows, doesn't matter who someone is. You make sure you know that person, you get that person's contact, and always just keep it in your back pocket. Just always have that in your back pocket.
Yeah, dude, you nailed it, man. I actually learned the networking thing. Going to Dallas was not about cards. If I'm being completely honest, both times it's not been about cards. Like last time, I don't get me wrong, I spent tons. I spent money and I spent time and making deals all night, and that was fun. Like that was cool. But deep down, the art of the deal and just that was cool. Negotiating with people, but even bigger than that, like you said, is if one day I need something or you need something and I can help you or you can help me outside of cards or something's going on with your family and you need some support, that's where this comes into play.
Even within cards, that's the thing. Even within cards, it goes both ways. I'm not saying just network out of cards, because if you ever said, "Oh, keep your eyes peeled in Florida at Florida shows for this specific Demarcus Cousins," maybe I just run into it, and that could just be the card that you need, or it could be vice versa. If you ever see a nice Dwayne Bacon at a show, I know you would take a picture and send it to me within three
Oh yeah,
seconds, because
100%.
that's just how it is. And I would do the same if I saw some sick Demarcus Cousins. That it's like Jay cannot let this thing slip, between his hands. And it's just that aspect of you never know who can do what for you. And it's not about getting even with someone, because sometimes the best things is giving. If you can give something to someone, that's not just the best feeling in the world.
That's
Look,
amazing,
look at
man.
Jimmy Mahan, Kentucky basketball cards.
Dude, he's amazing.
There's that guy
I
is
met him for
like
the first time.
he's not from this world.
Dude,
He's just like he's I've never
self-sacrifice
seen
for
him
others.
mad.
Self-sacrifice for others, dude.
It's
Like
crazy. He's
I aspire to get on that like calm level of just like people see me and they're like, dude, I've never seen you get mad. Oh, trust me. Spend a weekend with me and I get triggered off something, I might explode. But no, it's I'm human, man. I'm human. I make mistakes. I learn. But yeah, he's great.
he's a different beast. He's
That's
an
the thing though. You
exceptional
meet
human
people
being.
like that and you just like you learn. You're learning from other people.
Of course, he's
It's bigger than cards sometimes, man.
so much bigger than cards.
All right,
It's crazy.
This is gonna be great. We are in Dallas. Cannot believe this happened. We're in Dallas. We're in the lobby, and all of a sudden he says, Max looks at me. He's like, "I want to tell you who my MVP pick for the NFL is." And if I ask you this question, if I give you $10,000 to invest, would you really say this guy's name?
I did it. I put up my own 10,000
Who's
and
your
did it. So
MVP?
listen,
Show
I have
us.
my reasoning. I'll show you guys. I went crazy. You don't buy this card if you really don't believe. I had the opportunity to get this card, and I said, if I really believe what I'm saying, I have to get it. And I decided I believe what I'm saying. Not sure if the lighting's working.
Taysom
That's
Hill.
Taysom Hill.
So
That's his
he's the starting
contender
quarterback of the
Super Bowl
Saints
ticket.
next year.
I don't see why he wouldn't be. I know they have Jameis in the fold as well right now, but they've invested 3 or 4 years into this kid. They want him. They literally want him to take the job. They're going to do whatever they can to make sure he gets the job. Now, if Jameis just flatly outperforms him, and there's no debate as to who's the better quarterback is, they have to play Jameis. But I truly think that if you give this kid the chance on that team, you already have the most dominant running back, argumentably with Derrick Henry,
Derrick
but
Henry, yeah.
Alvin Kamara is one of the most dominant running
He's
backs in the
great.
league, and definitely
He's honestly great.
he's the best PPR back in the league. I think that's pretty that's an objective answer. And he doesn't need to throw an 80-yard bomb to Michael Thomas to have good stats. He could throw 10-yard screen passes, literally a 10-yard to the right screen pass to Kamara, who runs it for 20 yards, and that counts all for his stats. But the fact that this guy is literally a tight end, he's a punt returner, he's a kick returner, he's a quarterback, and I'm sure he can play defensive positions as well. At the odds that he was listed for to win MVP and the opportunity I think that he's going to get this year in New Orleans, it was worth the flyer. And I don't want to live life with regrets. And the day I bought this card and I was thinking about it, because the guy gave me like a window to buy it. And I read a tweet minutes before and I felt like it was a calling. It was, billionaires have lost millions to become billionaires. Millionaires have lost hundreds of thousands of dollars to become millionaires. but you don't want to take any risks and just get rich by never losing a dollar. And it makes you realize if you believe in something, you got to sometimes take a risk. And it's okay to take a risk every so often. I don't think you should take a risk on every player that you ever see. But if you really believe in someone, don't live life saying, what if? Never say, like, oh, what if I had that? What if I would have bought that Taysom Hill when I could have? I would have had this. I would have had this. It's just do it. Just do it and live with the consequences. If it goes down, I made a really bad buy. But I got a card that I'll always say I did what I thought, and I had a plan for this guy that didn't work out. And I keep it on the coffee table, and whenever people come over, it's like, "Do you remember Taysom Hill? A $7,000 talking point." Well, there I just disclosed what I paid. A $7,000 talking point right there.
Hey, man, your attitude about it's the best thing. Dude, I mean, it's really not. It's risky, but it's not as risky as some people have taken risks, you know?
And I don't invest in cards. I really don't. I'm not an investor. I invested in this card. I literally bought this as a tangible asset, as an investment, as something that I say, listen, if he wins MVP, he only has one rookie card. He's only in contenders in 2017. Nothing else. And he only has one variation. He does this is his only card, and this is the one of one. So if he goes up, this is the card. It's not one of the cards, this is the card. So I had the opportunity and I had to go for it.
Hey, totally get that. Um, all right, we're going to wrap it up here, but I will ask you the one last question. If you could kind of sum up what collecting's done for you in your life.
Everything. I mean, that's really the answer. Everything. Collecting's given me life. I mean, like I know I'm just saying the same thing, but collecting's given me friends. It's given me money in my pocket. It's given me happiness. It's given me something to wake up and say, I can't wait to start cleaning cards for grading. I can't wait to get my eBay orders packed up or start listing on eBay or seeing what deals are out there right now and just interacting with new people. Every day I'm interacting with someone new, whether that's on eBay, whether that's on Instagram, whether that's on Facebook. There's just so many ways to interact with people in this hobby. And it gives me at least a purpose to get myself going every day. There's something I look forward to every day I wake up, and it's because I love it. And not everyone that's watching this video is going to feel the same passion I feel for sports cards, but whatever it is that you feel passionate about, whether that's, and I promise you, I'm not even with saying this with a smile on my face, whether that's driving garbage trucks, or if you're passionate about building houses, or if you're passionate about being a doctor or a law or whatever it is that you say, that's what I want to do. That's what I'm going to wake up every morning smiling, saying, this is what I do for a living. Go and pursue that goal. And if it be sports cards, then there's millions of people out there, including myself, including Jay. DM us at any time with whatever question you have, and there's never going to be any arrogance, at least from my end, and I know for sure from Jay's end. Never any arrogance, never any you can figure it out on your own. You don't need me. Ask us the questions. We're here to help. We're here to answer. And if there's something else that it is that you want to achieve in life, there's others that are willing to help you. The one great thing about the world as it is right now is that most people are willing to help each other out. I didn't say everyone, I said most. But go and achieve what you want to do. Don't worry about the money part of it. Worry about what's going to make you happy, because truly what makes you happy is priceless. And for example, Dwayne Bacon cards make me happy. It has nothing to do with the dollar bill. It has to do with, is there a Dwayne Bacon that's going to pop up on eBay today that I absolutely need to score? And I think that's a perfect way to end it, Jay.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I think taking off what he said, I challenge everybody, man. These are the two things I strive with. It's open-mindedness and it's remaining teachable. You know, don't be the I know it guy, and just kind of like Max said, whatever you're passionate about, chase that. You know, so hey, Max, I want to thank you so much for being a part of the show. You can find him on Instagram at footballcardsfs, and I appreciate you coming on. Thanks for your time today, man, and I'm excited to see you at the next show, whenever that is, man. So thanks for being a part of this.
Thank you so much for having me, Jay. And I again, just it's been wonderful, and you've been wonderful, and I hope whoever watches this learned something. And again, feel free to reach out to me whenever.
Perfect, man. Thank you so much.